Do you schedule everything?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I leave room for spontaneity, but if I showed you my diary, it's pretty scary. Like, people look at it and I think they get freaked out by it because they don't understand the power behind it.
Tell me about that power.
Well, because I've got one for work and then I've got one for life. And at the beginning of every month, my wife and I will sit down between 4 to 5 hours and we schedule the next 4 weeks with a slight peek into the 4 weeks after that. So the first thing I do when we do this is I first individually, I map out my work. And then after that, there are a lot of gaps and my work is very flexible. So then I sit down with my wife after that. And this is us intentionally doing life together as opposed to separately. And we go, okay, how do we live this next month? And then she puts in her sessions where she goes to bar. Then I put in the times where I'm going to spend time with Xander without her. So she's got her own personal time. Then she puts in her time where she's going to spend time with Xander. Then I've got my personal time. That's when I'm gaming, currently into Age of Empires 4. Fantastic. Love it. And then after that, we do the family time together, what we're going to do. We don't leave it blank. We go, okay, we blocked out 5 hours. Let's actually plan what we're going to do. Let's be intentional about life. Let's be deliberate. Let's be strategic about it. Let's not leave it. Yeah. So then we plan, okay, let's do some research. Where do we want to go? Plug it in, book it in. Then we book in date nights, when we're going to spend time together intentionally. So we book, we've got a list of things we go through. And then we also go, hey, what are some goals we want to achieve as a family in the next 4 weeks? Are there anything? Oh, okay, you want to redo the retaining wall? Okay, let's put that in. What are other goals you want to do? Oh, you want to talk to a person to design the kitchen, remodel it? Let's start that. We map it all in. And then there are still free blocks. And those free blocks, we allow ourselves to be spontaneous. But we only allow 20% of the time to be spontaneous. 80% of the time, it's intentional, it's blocked in, it's scheduled. Whereas before, we didn't do this. I had my work life, and then guess what my wife was doing? She was sitting there waiting for me to spend time with her and but now she's no longer waiting. Now she's living, I'm living, and then we live together. We've done this for the last 3 years, and it's completely changed our lives.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I'd even imagine that free time you have, that 20% free time, you probably already got that scheduled in as spontaneous time or free time.
Yeah, and we've got that kind of even though it's spontaneous, we kind of go, oh, we got that free thing Friday night. We'll do a pizza night. So then we kind of communicate that just verbally. We go, oh, let's do a pizza night. Like tonight, we're doing a pizza night. So that's kind of cool, right? Cousins going to get out the dough, a couple of friends going to get some toppings tonight, all come after a long work day. Everyone's going to have wonderful pizzas. We're going to have awesome pizza night. So that's how we ensure that the thing that used to always happen is, so what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. What do you want to do? We have successfully avoided that situation for the last 2+ years. And it became even more important during COVID because it kept happening at the start of it. What do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? I don't know. So now we make those decisions during that planning time. Is that a movie night? Cool. Let's research what movie we're going to watch. Let's just schedule it. We're just going to watch this movie. Let's plan time to think, and then we just do. And think and then live. Think and then live, as opposed to, otherwise there was so much idle time.
As opposed to doing neither, right?
Hey?
And then otherwise you just do neither, don't you?
Well, the classic one is, what do you want to watch? I don't know. And then we just don't do anything. Or where do you want to go eat? And then, I don't know, you don't know. And then we just don't do anything. Now we just book it in at the start of the month and we do it. So
incredible.
Well, really? Is it that incredible? Or is it just, damn it, it seems so straightforward and basic.
Yeah, but it's incredible, right? Because I think that's the common theme which I'm hearing from almost everything which you're sharing.
Yeah.
Is that you're doing the things which a lot of people know that they should, but they just don't feel they can, or they don't feel that it's worthy, or that it's worthwhile doing.
Yeah.
And if to anyone listening, like, man, to just to realize what you should be doing and then take action on it, which I believe is what's led to your success. Like there's a big part of, what do I actually love doing? What's actually going to work well? What's better than the alternative of me continuing to do this? And then there's this other component of, how can I make sure that works properly? How can I take into consideration everyone I've got to take care of? and spend the time with the people I want to spend time with, and do the things I love with the people I love forever. I think you said do everything intentionally, deliberately, and strategically.
Yeah. Those are big words for me right now.
It sounds like they've been big words for you almost forever.
They probably were, but I didn't have clarity on them. I use themes. Themes are very useful for me in my life, and they're themes for my chapters of my life. So right now, the themes for the chapter is strategic, deliberate, and intentional. Whereas in my business phase that I was going through kind of last year when I was really building that up, that was a different 3 words, a different chapter. It was fewer, bigger, and better. I wanted fewer clients, bigger clients, and better clients. And that really helped me shape the direction that I was moving in. Do my decisions, it helps me shape my decisions, right? So I find having themes in the different areas of my life really, really helpful.
How do you choose those themes?
I sit and when I think about, for example, as a father, I want to create more adventure, curiosity, and fun right now. That's kind of the theme right now. I'm sure those themes will change as Xander matures and requires me to share with him different experiences and life lessons. But right now, those are the key themes. So I shape the themes around people. So clients, fewer, bigger, better. Right? Kind of family, meaning myself and my wife, really. I really want to be more deliberate, more strategic, and more intentional as opposed to being passive. So I kind of base it around people, and it helps me come up with different themes for different areas of my life. And then it just almost becomes my checkpoint. If I've got, like I had a really big video project come up in late last year that was going to be, because I've got a production team that I kind of run. And I went, is that fewer, bigger, better? No, it's not. I'm not doing it. So we turned it away. But I was able to do that because I had that clarity of, well, that's my kind of business themes right now. I want to work with fewer clients, but deeper, bigger projects, Yeah, so it just helps you make this. It's like mental models. It creates those, at a high level, just kind of basic mental models for you to navigate through life with. I find themes help.
Yeah, wow. And how much do your mentors or close friends or peers contribute to that?
Oh, a ton. In December, I went away for a whole week with a group of my close friends, and we do what we call life design, right? And we're intentionally designing the life we want to live. And that's when we come up with different themes for different areas. We come up with greater clarity with what we want to do. It's where I redefined what success meant for me. It's where I became clearer on what the key milestones that I want to reach are for my business, for my personal life, my family life. It's the symbolism of me taking 5 hours at the beginning of each month to plan the next month. That's scattered all through my life. Twice a year, I take a week off to plan the next half a year, right? And I find that without intent, like the word intentional means a lot to me. It's why I journal. It's again to be more intentional. I'm not always intentional, but at least it makes me intentional the majority of the time, 70% of the time. And that's a win for me if I can get that. So it's take the time to get clear on who you are, what you feel, what those feelings mean, how you can take those feelings, communicate it to those around you so they can get to know you more, listen to their feelings so you can get to know them more, and then you build a life together. Whereas for a long time, I was doing things in a silo and I didn't take time to plan and I was reactive. And it just makes you a better leader, right? It just makes you a better leader for your family, for your business. It makes you better when you take time out for yourself. I never knew that this was possible, Harry. Because when I looked at my mum and dad's relationship growing up, and the ones we tend to reference is, my mum never went away on her own. My dad never went on away his own, because if they were seen to do that, that's disrespectful. How could you be so selfish? Whereas, again, reality is negotiable, right? I kind of looked at it and said, well, none of my friends do this. But is it because are these rules or are these rules we make up in our own heads? So I sat down, spoke to my wife, really got clear on it. And I've been doing this since 2017, 16. Every year I go away for a couple of weeks. And I can have that time by myself. And like my wife now is at a point where when we went for this last retreat, she made Rogan Josh curry that was beautifully stewed. She bought a whole esky, filled it with drinks, got it all ready for me and my friends. And it was done out of love, out of excitement that every time you come back from this, you are better. Right? And I never thought that this was possible. Whereas the moment I mentioned this to my friends, the first thing they say to me is, oh, dude, my wife's not going to let me go. No way. No way, dude. But then I'm like, well, but that's, yeah, again, is that real? Or is that because you haven't created the right environment and communicated in the right way that, yeah, like again, are you negotiating or are you just accepting again? I don't know. So
It sounds like there's a lot of reciprocity in your approach and in what you're doing. It sounds like it's not just what can I negotiate to get for me,
yeah,
but you're doing it in partnership.
I know 100% that if my wife wasn't getting anything out of it, I wouldn't have got that Rogan Josh and esky full of lovely beverages. 100%. If she was getting nothing out of it, she's not the kind of woman that would do that. Yeah. So it's,
Well, she's getting nothing. I mean, what's she getting out of it?
well, first of all, I think she gets a better version of me. Second of all, every time I come back from these things, it's, and again, it sounds, I think on the surface, it sounds very selfish, but I come back a better man. I really do. I'm clearer. I'm more still. I have more clarity. And in turn, it's interesting. I've never really dissected this because I feel a huge part of what she gets as well is a husband who is more thoughtful, is more aware, self-aware, more present. But then on the flip side, the more tangible things I think that she's able to get is that she gets her time away alone with her friends and what she wants as well. Kind of a direct, last year she did that with her friends, a staycation, and had a great time. But at a high level, I think what's powerful here is that we recognize and acknowledge that we are still two individuals that have different needs and requirements, and it's okay.